Hello, everybody. It is Sir Willow. I'm laughing because my daughter and I were just arguing over whether boiling water will create smoke in the living room or not. I've got all sorts of stuff coming up ahead. We're live with updates, trip updates, questions, mail, and all sorts of other stuff. Let's go. All right, I hope everybody is doing well this Saturday morning, wide awake. Although my friends over in Europe, for you guys, it's like mid-afternoon, which would be really cool. So good to see everybody. Looks like we got a good group and more people coming on here. So excited to see how it's going to go. I've got all sorts of different updates I want to give you. Several trips that are coming up, some things that are going on personally for me as far as health and stuff like that goes, and some stuff like that. Allison has a great question. I don't want to forget it, so Allison, I may ask you to re-ask it again later about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I definitely don't want to forget that. But want to get a few things out first as far as announcements and news and all that. First, my kind of general standard thing for live feeds, as far as questions goes, please make sure that you've checked my FAQs as far as when I worked at a park, what parks I worked at, stuff like that. That's all been answered. Also, if you have a question that starts with, what's your favorite? Or what is the most? I have probably either answered it in a video already, or it's a question I don't really answer because favorites for me are really hard and really difficult because they change with my moods and stuff. I mean, when you like 30 coasters all about the same, it's really hard to pick a favorite one. Stuff like that. So, just to throw that out there, we've got all sorts of stuff coming up. It's actually the day before I leave for a trip. Let me see here if I can throw off all these names. Matthew and John and Jenny and Brody and Allison and Ben the Cat Guy and Jeffrey Hunter and Brody Macko. And by the way, Aaron, kind of deal with Aaron. Aaron is my friend from down in Florida, moderator. He's been in some of the Disney videos. You're going to see him coming up again here in a couple months as well as in a few months. So be sure to harass Aaron, but keep it in a nice way. And he's going to be kind of moderating the channel. The chat for me there. He's a wonderful help that way. So let me get into the first things first. We're actually leaving tomorrow afternoon, immediately after church. Those of you who don't know, I'm actually a pastor. That's my real job. And as soon as I am done preaching and the service is over, we are immediately getting in my car, and my wife and I are driving out to Kentucky. It's an 8-hour drive that night. And we are doing these places. This is part of the reason we're going, is we got this wonderful thing in the mail that gave us free tickets to the Ark Encounter in the Creation Museum. And so we are going to be heading out there. We are going to be dropping my brochure. Oops. We are going to be at the Ark Encounter on Monday. We will be at the Creation Museum up near Cincinnati, Ohio on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're going to be back towards St. Louis again. We're going to the St. Louis Zoo. Not sure what time we're going to get there. There's a chance we might sleep in a little bit. On Thursday, we'll be going to Six Flags St. Louis up till probably early mid-afternoon, and then heading home. Now, this is a trip with my wife, so I just kind of want to give everybody a heads up. If you see us there, we would absolutely love to say hi to you. But my wife is one of those that when she goes to places, she kind of likes to hide. So please feel free to say hi, but we're not doing any official meet and greets. We're not doing any big hangout sessions or anything like that. So we're happy to meet you. We're happy to talk for a few minutes. Happy to get some pictures. Happy to sell you a pin if you happen to want those. And I'll talk more about those in a few minutes. So please definitely do that. If you're at Six Flags with me, I will probably want and need somebody to ride a couple of the coasters with because my wife can't ride coasters anymore due to a neck injury. But please understand if we're not sitting there wanting to hang around for hours with you, because it is kind of it's her break to get away from school. She's a school teacher, and this is her opportunity to just go take a deep breath and say, there's no kids here. There's no people coming after me and stuff. So that's kind of the point of the trip, but we're looking forward to that. Let's see here. Looking forward to a nice safe draft. Can you gift me money through PayPal? Yes, Jenny, you can. There's actually links in the description below. It's also how you would order the pins. So that is there, as well as Patreon. That's also a good way to support me. So check the description for all that kind of stuff. If you've never looked at my descriptions, check it out. There is all sorts of stuff in the description, including PayPal links and Patreon links and stuff like that. So, but we're doing this trip on a very short schedule and a very, very tight budget. And this is one of the things I kind of want to talk about a little bit. My wife, for our summer travels, was going to be teaching summer school. Those of you who don't know, teachers sort of get paid in summer, but they got to kind of save it all up. And if you want to do anything extra, you need extra money. So that's what summer school was going to be. Well, her school district enrollment was way down, like record lows for summer school, which means she's not teaching summer school. So that's like $1,500 we were counting on to travel with that we don't have. So we're trying to find other ways to make it up a little bit, but it means that on this trip, we are coming back Thursday. There's no extra time. There's no extra money. In fact, everything that we're doing on this trip, the tickets and admissions are all covered and paid for already because we don't have the money for that. We're taking ice chests with all our meals in it, and we're doing really tight budget. And that's going to affect our Florida trip as well. We are going to be cutting back on some of the things we'd hoped to do on that trip, just because budget is not going to allow us to do a lot of those kinds of things. So be aware if you're saying, you ought to do this, you ought to do that. We don't have money to do that. We're even trying to figure out food at this point. But it is all going to work out. But I just wanted to throw that out there. So those of you who are, got ideas, there's so much stuff I would love to do. There's several things in St. Louis even. There just is absolutely not time and not money. So, other trips coming up. I've got a big one in July. We are leaving July 22nd to start driving down to Florida. It'll be a 2-day drive, and we'll be down there for about 2 weeks. We've been offered tickets to Busch Gardens. I haven't been to Busch Gardens since we moved. So Busch Gardens is tentatively scheduled. Let me look at my calendar here. This is early schedule. This could always change. July 24th, we're hoping for Busch Gardens. July 26th, we're hoping for SirWillow, because again, we've been offered tickets there, which I'm so grateful to those who are doing that for us. On July 27th, this is the date you're going to want to mark if you are in Orlando. Saturday, July 27th at 11 a.m., I will be at Disney Springs for a meet and greet. So if you want to meet me, if you want to trade pins, if you want to buy pins, by the way, I will be carrying these things around with me everywhere I go now, so I'll talk more about them in a second. But July 27th at 11 a.m., I will be at Disney Springs for a meet and greet. This is to spend time with you, and I plan on being there for a couple hours, having lunch, maybe at Deluxe Burger, because I like Deluxe Burger. It's good. And so that'll be a great opportunity to meet up with everybody and say hi, trade pins, get pictures, possibly do a live stream at that point. I'd love to be able to get a good Q&A live stream and some things like that. We will probably be spending a couple days at Disney while we're down there. The biggest reason we're going down is because my church denomination has their big, huge national business meeting the next week, starting on August 1st through 5th. And so that's the real reason for the trip, and we're just squeezing in some vacation. So, let's see here. And then the pins, if you have not seen these things yet, I have gotten in SirWillow pins. These are beautifully done. These are the same quality as you would get from a Disney pin. Just very nice pins. Solid metal, very good quality. I am selling those if you would like one. They are $7 each plus shipping, which comes out to $10 if you're in the U.S., $17 in Canada, and $22 international because the postage rates are nuts. But there's links in the description to those. You can buy them. After the first pin with the shipping, each additional pin is $7. So you can get those, or if you see me in the parks, talk to me, and I will be carrying a supply of those, and I will very happily be able to sell them along that, as long as we don't run into any park policies. So let me see here. Let me kind of scoot back up a little bit, because I know I've got a number of questions here. I want to go back to Allison's first before I jump into the mail. So I'm kind of going way back here. My thoughts on Disney World is handling the opening of Galaxy's Edge, as well as them offering resort guests extra magic hours. I am excited about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I'm actually going to get to experience it in October at Disneyland, which I'm super excited about. And it actually sounds like that we'll have Rise of the Resistance open possibly in California when we get there. So I totally understand why they're doing stages. They have run into a couple different small issues I've heard about with Rise of the Resistance, which is why they're opening it in stages. I do think it's a great idea to limit how many people are in there, because otherwise it's going to be packed and nobody's going to be happy. The extra magic hours for it, I honestly think is a great idea. just to try and help get some more people in when the crowds are thinner, so that way they're not in there later when other people are coming in. So hopefully that will work. I'm also very much on with them not doing FastPass Plus for it. Very much in favor of that. I know there's some people going, but it'll keep people out of the line. And actually what it means is that the standby line is going to be moving quicker and constantly. And so people aren't standing for 4 hours in the line. It should hopefully keep it at 2 and keep it moving constantly, which will be much better for everybody. So right now I think they're on track with that. I really think the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be at least as popular as Potter is at Universal and last longer probably. So going to be very, very cool. So, all right, let me kind of, oh, hey, Kentucky. Hi, Silas. And Tennessee, Jeffrey Hunter. I love Tennessee. Gorgeous state. We're driving through Tennessee here in July. We're looking forward to it. Let's see. And I'm kind of skimming down here now. I'm trying to get all caught up. And Aaron, of course, is going to provide the links for PayPal and stuff like that. So Aaron is awesome that way. Ever listen to what? Meatloaf? I never really cared much for Meatloaf. Sorry, Aaron Bomzak. He was just never one of my guys. Stuttgart, Germany. Hi, Jasmine Mills. That's very cool. What was the Celebration City poster behind you made? Celebration City was a theme park that in Branson, Silver Dollar City had bought and closed. This was actually a gift to me from a gentleman named Robert Morris. And if you look on my channel, there's actually 2 collab videos that I talked with him about his time working at the parks. And that is where that came from. So I don't know exactly. You can't see it up at the top, but it says Roaring Falls new 5-story water ride. So it's the year that they opened up Roaring Falls that I got that. So that's really cool. TMT stars it. You could use some comp passes if I want Disney World. Actually, thank you so much for that. We're okay as far as Disney World tickets go. My daughter and I have passes for Disney World that expire in October. So the 2 of us get in free, and that covers parking. And then we do have several friends that still work at Walt Disney World. So I'm actually planning on kind of nudging them a little bit and saying, hey, can you get my wife in? And we may have 1 or 2 other people joining us, so I think we'll be okay with that. But thank you very much. I appreciate that, but I think we're okay on Disney. What attraction would you say is the most badly themed and the best themed at Disney? Ooh, that's a good... I would have to think about that one, Richard. Hey, Richard, send me that same thing on... through Facebook or something, because that would be a good idea for video. Yes, that would be a great one. Let's see here, and almost getting caught up. Have I seen the new paint for Sleeping Beauty Castle unveiled? Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I love the way the Disneyland Castle looks now. It's beautiful. I know there's some people thinking it looks too plastic or whatever. I think it's gorgeous. I can't wait to see it in person. Very, very neat. So, if there are some left by the time you get your first paycheck, trust me, Julia, I will have plenty of pins left for you. Let's see. I have lots of pins left. So, please buy my pins, and I don't mean to be pushy, but we're going to Disneyland in October 1st through 8th. I will have a meet and greet there on October 5th at the Anaheim Garden Walk. And these are what is paying for my food while there. We have a wonderful gentleman that has covered the plane tickets and the hotel and the park tickets, but we're trying to save him money. And what I had saved for food is actually going on this trip that we're leaving on tomorrow. I had to pull it all out. So if you pay for these, you're going to help me on my trip in October, and I would be very, very grateful for that. So please buy my pins. Please buy my pins. Okay. I did go into a little bit of debt to pay for those, so I really would like to make that up a little bit. So anyways, that's enough spieling. But October 5th at Disneyland. Oh, one other big announcement. And I don't have a link in the description for this yet. I will get it for you. It is on my Facebook page. August 17th, I will be at Frontier City in Oklahoma City for Coasting the Kids. It is a fundraiser for Give Kids the World Village down in Kissimmee, and I am very excited about that. We're going to be raising money. I firmly believe I set a $500 goal. We should be able to blow that away easy. But I would love to see you join me. If you're in the area, you can sign on and be part of the SirWillow team if you look for the Coasting for Kids website. and or you can support me that way. I am so excited. I haven't been to Frontier City in since 2004, so going to be fun. So that's a big one. I will get information. It's already on my Facebook page. So if you go to facebook.com/SirWillow, that will have information about Custom for Kids. And hey, Aaron's got it right there. I told you, Aaron is the man. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. Jasmine, have I been to Disneyland Paris? Yes, Jasmine is. Pat Green said I went last March. And I do have several videos up. For a lot of these things, if you go to my channel homepage and then hit the search button and click in some stuff, you'll see all these different videos and stuff. Love Disneyland Paris. So, any of my family coming with me to Disneyland? Yes, my son and my daughter will be with me, along with Aaron, the guy that you see typing in. And my daughter's best friend and his girlfriend, Laurel Miller, will be with us as well. If you look at the Universal vlog, you will see Aaron and Laurel in there with my daughter. So, a couple things of mail. Excuse me a second. I gotta wash some stuff. And Ron, thank you so very much for that gift. I appreciate it. And Richard, thank you. Snacks. Oh, I like snacks. So, this is cool. Star Trek. This is from Barry. I have mail from the first part of April here, so I'm way behind on my mail. April 5th, Zephyrin Cochrane, the inventor of warp drive, will make the maiden flight of his ship. Oh, by the way, my dogs are about to bark because my wife just got home. Maiden ship to Phoenix. This will garner the attention of aliens and lead to Earth's first contact with Vulcans. By the way, if you are a Star Trek nerd, you will know all of this. So, happy first contact day. So I told you I'm way behind. Love Star Trek. We actually went out last Monday. We had a Fandango gift card we used to go to this. And great documentary. It'll be out on Blu-ray and DVD in August. But if you were a Star Trek Deep Space Nine fan, this was a wonderful documentary. And yes, we got free posters. And it was a good time. So, hey Eric, good to see you made it. Savage, which link is not available? Now you got me wondering here. You're gonna make me check it on my own. Let's see. Okay. Let me see if I can... Aaron, you may want to check that Facebook link for the fundraiser, because it's not coming up right now. So, Brody, you need to stop spamming. You're on the verge of getting yourself kicked. So, this is from Drew Palmquist. It says, for pastors, we celebrate our risen Lord. See, I'm telling you, I'm back at Easter. I'm way behind. So thankful that no matter what life brings, we know the end of the story, and it's amazing. Jesus is one, hallelujah. So yes, referring to my other job as a pastor, thank you so much for that, Drew. Haven't been to a live in a while. Ooh. Will there be any pins left by October? More than likely, Gailey. However, if you really want to make sure you get them, order them ahead of time. Did I see Avengers Endgame? Yes, it was fantastic. Loved it. My son gave it a 7 out of 10. I actually have a quick review of it up on the channel, so search for that. I did do a no spoilers review. We saw it opening weekend. Another Happy Easter card. I feel so far behind. I think this one's Drew again. Yep. Heartfelt wish. For happy things, the brightest joy is the best of springs. Thank you, Drew. In fact, the big box here I got is actually from Drew, too. That arrived yesterday. Have I seen Detective Pikachu? No, have not seen it and probably won't until it comes out. So, yeah, Julia, we had to actually drive an hour to go see the documentary, but I was happy to see it's coming out on Blu-ray. And they hinted at special features in it, too. But see, this is from Barry Hom. Oh, boy, Easter's here. I don't do a good Mickey impression. Sorry. Hope you're smiling ear to ear. My wife is laughing at me over here on the side. Like, oh, what a nerd. So, nice shirt. Oh, yes. I mentioned Barry. That is actually a shirt from Barry Hom. So, one of my viewers, the one who sends me a lot of this mail. So, May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I hope you all celebrate May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th. So, have plans to have my 30th credit at Magic Mountain this summer. Currently have 26. Awesome. I will actually hit my 300th roller coaster this summer. I am so excited. Oh, in fact, I didn't even mention on that whole trip on the Florida thing. On the way back, we're stopping at Six Flags Over Georgia on the way back. So that will be August 6th at Six Flags Over Georgia. I think that's right. Yes, August 6th at Six Flags Over Georgia. Their pressure wasn't too far off. I'm almost... Thank you. Let's see. One more from Barry. And then I'm almost to the packages here. Hello. SirWillow. Hi, I had the day off for Easter and my mom dragged me to church. Good for your mom, Barry. Surprisingly, I did not burst into flame when you walked into church. You know, I actually have people think that about my church. Like, you're not going to burst into flame. Come in, please. I wish more people would come in. It blesses the pastor when people show up. It makes us feel good. It really does. Okay. Enough spieling there. I fell in and out of sleep during the sermon. Am I going to hell? No, you're just going to take a nap. Okay. Then they had food from a potluck and then cooked prime rib for dinner. Oh, prime rib. That's one of my favorites. I love prime rib. Hope I make it to Six Flags Over Texas sometimes. We were actually at Six Flags Over Texas 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. Love Six Flags Over Texas. So, let's see. Gotta love the cottonwood allergy. Not too bad. Let's see. Been with you since you had 15,000. That's quite a while. Which means you came probably that first wave, their squelch, when I had the first tour groups that cast members are afraid of. So, and let's see here. Did Aaron get a working link this time? Maybe. I'm going to check it here for you real quick. And, yay, that one worked, Aaron. Yay! Okay. And yes, it is in the description below, too. So, awesome. All right, so I do have a small package here from Barry. I've got 3 envelopes, another package, and then a box. So, it burns, it burns. Have I been to Legoland before? I have actually, that's actually a good question. I need to talk about that at some point. I have been to Legoland in California years and years ago, which I loved, which we really enjoyed. That would have been back in 2002, probably. The one in Florida, we actually went when it was still Cypress Gardens, and I actually had passes for a year when it was Cypress Gardens. So we really enjoyed that, and then the hurricanes came, that triple hurricane year, and they never really recovered from that. And that's when Legoland took it over. I have not been to it as Legoland, so would love to sometimes. Have I been to the State Fair of Texas? Yes, and I will say this for the State Fair of Texas. It is probably the single best state fair of any kind I've been to. It is a fantastic fair. And I've been to the California State Fair, I've been to the LA County Fair, I've been to the Orange County Fair in Southern California, I've been to the Florida State Fair, and the Tampa Fair, and the Strawberry Festival, and the Missouri State Fair, and the Texas State Fair is an awesome fair. Did I watch John Wick 3? I have not actually watched any of the John Wick movies, Aaron. Not typically the type of movie I would watch much. And just a lot of it's because time, and so I have to be picky. Let's see here. Okay, so this is from Barry. This is a big flat envelope here. And it has... Oh! Okay. Y'all are going to love this. Because I just showed you my shirt, right? There's the pin that goes with the shirt. Oh, that's good timing. That is hilarious. I did not know that. I did not plan it. There is a card in here as well. Just the irony of that. Let's see. So this is really for my wife. But the 7 Dwarfs of Motherhood. Huggy, Fussy, Worry, Naggy, Guilty, Saintly, and the Enabler. And then, SirWillow, I know you're not a mom, but treat the mother of your children well this Mother's Day. Which dwarf is Lady Willow? Oh, I don't know if I'd necessarily... she would definitely have to be saintly. Absolutely. Although fussy sometimes. Just because she does like to clean. But, yeah, like I said, the irony there. That's hilarious. Let me see here. I have a card from Leah in Winnipeg, Canada. A couple more cards from Barry. Let me catch a couple more questions here. Where's Sandy? She is sleeping in the back bedroom. Sorry, Matt. Let's see here. Let's see. When I go to Disney, do I stay at the resorts? Sometimes, generally, no. We did the last couple trips. This next time, we are actually staying in a 4-bedroom condo. We are paying for 16 nights. We are paying about $1,600 total. Actually, with fees and stuff, I think it comes out to $1,700. That is actually cheaper than it would cost to stay at Disney. And we are getting 4 bedrooms. We're getting the resort access. We are getting a full kitchen and a living room. And it's a lot cheaper than it would cost to stay at a hotel. So renting condos and homes is a great way to go down to Florida. Went to Marvel Cave, enjoyed. Was afraid to look down. Marvel Cave is fantastic. If you go to Silver Dollar City and you haven't seen Marvel Cave, you need to. It is the reason the park was built. It's amazing. The first cave you walk in is big enough that they've flown 3 hot air balloons in it at the same time. It's huge. So, Eric, sounds great. Number 30 would be Superman. Superman's a great ride. I love Superman. Looney Tunes or Disney? Both. I love them both. Let's see here. Ooh, Star Wars Day's your birthday. Well, happy late birthday, Julia. So Savage Mister, Big Tex. Howdy, folks. This is Big Tex. And if you've been to the Texas State Fair, you'll get that. So, good to see you, Squelch. Have a great day. Did I hear about the youth pastor that spelled Endgame in front of his entire youth group? No, I didn't, but I wouldn't want to been him. How do you all do coasters at my age? John, the very first time I rode X out in California, when they opened it up, I was part of the media group that was out there to fill the train and look good for it. So I was an extra. I got to ride in the back row with the guy who worked in the tool crib at Six Flags Magic Mountain. He was in his mid-70s, and he was in the back row on X, and hooped it up like a little kid. And I was like, when I get older, that's who I want to be. So... and in fact, I do mention people riding coasters of an older age in the video that'll be coming up next week on Tuesday, too, when I talk about cast previews. Next Thursday. Sorry. Get it right there. Dr. Seuss spins more or less on video. Yep. Yeah, John Adams called me old. I'm used to being called old, Aaron. Don't worry, your time will come, kid. So, from Barry, thinking of you, because you're nice to think about at any time of the year, it's natural to think of you on Mother's Day. This must be... Oh, this is a card from my wife. I will pass this on to her, Barry. So, but there's a very nice... This is from Leah for my wife. To Mrs. SirWillow Margaret, in the months to follow, keep in mind from day to day, you'll continue to be thought of in the warmest way. Wishing you happiness on Mother's Day and always. Hey, Margaret. She's in the back bedroom. She's hiding from the camera. I will pass that on to her, Leah. That was very nice. Thank you. So, somewhere in there I missed that it was for her. I would have given it to her earlier. So I usually pass her cards on to her so that she doesn't see them. In fact, I'm going to be guilty again. So there's another one. So I'm going to set that aside, Barry, for my wife, so I don't get in more trouble for opening her mail. What exactly is a state fair? Don't know since you're from England. Okay, so Ben... are you familiar with the Oktoberfest fairs in Germany? Because that may give you a little bit of an idea. A state fair, they bring in a carnival, typically a bunch of rides, but they also will have usually some competitions with things like the farm animals and the produce and homemade goods, and so people can show off what they've made. They also typically will have concerts and museums and other displays and people selling things, and it's just a big kind of fiesta. So the closest thing I can think of would be like the Oktoberfest fairs. Kind of give you an idea. I do actually have a video on there of the Springfield Fair from last year. So if you look at that video, it'll give you kind of an idea, show you the smaller carnival and some of the stuff there, and that'll give you a good idea of what a fair is like here. It's a small one, and then the state fairs are just much, much bigger. Am I going to review the Aladdin live-action movie? I am still out on whether I am going to see the Aladdin live-action movie. I will be totally honest with you. I have not been impressed with the thing. I keep wanting to like it. I like Will Smith. I love Will Smith as an actor, and I keep wanting to like it for Will. And they came out with the Prince Ali thing, and I was just like, he's off-key and flat. They're badly auto-tuning him. The pacing is off. It doesn't look good. Jafar looks like a wuss. I'm just like, huh. And they're not doing anything original. It is the exact same thing as the original, but live action. Why? It's basically a cheap comp for money. I'm feeling the same way about the new Lion King too. So I don't know. I'll probably wait till they're out on disc and I'll rent them from Redbox. But I'm not planning on going out to see them. That could change. But yeah, I'm not impressed with them right now. So, do I have a strong back? Well, actually, John, the back isn't the issue. The heart is. And in fact, some of you may not realize this, so I'll kind of address this. Because I have had a couple mentioning, are you putting on weight? About a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with a heart condition called HCM, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. For those of you who are not familiar with it, what it basically means is that the muscle in the middle of my heart is enlarged. So yes, I have medical proof I have a big heart. But because of it, it limits what I can do. And it actually, if I start working too hard, it's almost like an asthma fit is what it causes, which is kind of weird. And so I've gotten into this bad cycle where I got grounded for 3 months and couldn't do any exercise at all. And I put on some weight, and now I'm in this bad cycle where I need to exercise, but I run out of breath because I'm in bad shape, which makes it harder for me to exercise. So I don't exercise, so I get it, and it's a bad cycle right now. And I have to be very careful because if I do overwork the heart, if you may remember, there was a gentleman several years back, high school, college basketball player, who he was one of the great players. I'm going blank on his name, but he actually collapsed on the basketball court and died. And it's the same thing I've got. So I have to be careful. So no, it's not my back. Let's see here. I have on my channel, got 72-year-old dad on the New Texas Giant. I love New Texas Giant. Great ride. So anyways, I was going to read card from Barry. For someone special, God has chosen you and called you his own. Oh gosh, Barry, you're going to make me cry. God has blessed you and made your life a blessing. God has gifted you and rejoices in all that you are. So nice. It says, since I'm praying you enjoy your special day to the fullest and find God's goodness in every part of it. Again, this is a Mother's Day card, but they're nice. And that one just says to me, so thank you, Barry. Barry sends great mail. He really does. Let's see here. How dare they ruin a Disney classic? Yeah, I'm struggling. Let's see. Oh, from Australia, we called a show. That's a good idea. A good description of a fair. Yes. Let me see here. Have a carnival. It's just been nothing as big as that. Yeah, you take a carnival, traveling carnival, and just add all sorts of other stuff. And community groups will set up booths and sell things, and lots of food, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. All heart. Ooh, not quite all heart. Let's see. Making all the live actions because all the original classics go into public domain. That actually, I haven't read that, Aaron, but that is entirely possible. That would not surprise me. Although, let's see, they haven't done a live action Sleeping Beauty or Snow White. And those would be the first ones that would be going to public domain. So, I don't know. It's a good theory, possible. Once in Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios, and this couple sat next to me. They're about 85, so it was their favorite ride because it was always different. Yep, love it. Yeah, they did do Maleficent. My daughter's over in the other room. She said, well, they did Maleficent. That's a good point. That could kind of be a remake of Sleeping Beauty. But, yeah, they haven't done Snow White. How did I pick the name SirWillow? It's actually in my FAQ there, Savage, but I'll go ahead and answer it while I'm opening up this package. I used to teach high school out in California at a small Christian school. I was the quote-unquote full-time sub as well as teaching a couple other subjects full-time. At the time, there was a movie out called Willow. And in fact, it just came out on disc. And, Amber, can you grab me the Willow movie? My daughter's going to grab it here. And so my high school students, kind of teasing me at the time, started calling me Willow, saying that I looked like this guy in the movie. Ginger, there's nobody there. And so here we go. So there's the movie, and they said that I looked a little bit like him. And so they started calling me Willow. Well, I kept the nickname and kept using it. And I've actually got it on some other stuff. Well, as the internet began to grow in the 90s, so this is how far back it goes, I started using it as a handle online. Well, I ran into two issues. One, for many people, Willow is a girl's name. And two, it's also a very common name. So I stuck the Sir at the beginning of it, just to help differentiate and let them know, hey, I'm a guy. And it stuck. And it has been used that way ever since. And every now and then there's somebody else who will use it. But if you do a Google search for SirWillow, probably 90-95% of the hits are me. So it's a good way to see the pictures I take in parks and various other things that I've done over the years. And you can see my participation in various roller coaster forums and stuff like that. So you can see way back where it goes. But yeah, so there you go. Does that look like me? I used to have longer hair and it looked a little bit different, but so anyways, the one package is a shirt, and I have been excited about this. One of the people I talk to occasionally, and I recommend if you want a good podcast, is Two Tenderfoot Tourists. And so this is a shirt from them, who, yeah, smells like new, but you can see the logo, and let me hold this up there because I know they were anxious to see this. There you go. Two Tenderfoot Tourists. And then on the back, I get my high from bunny hops, barrel rolls, and boomerangs. So, Steve, it came out great. That is awesome. So, I'm very excited about that. So, that's the one thing I knew I was getting. So, yeah. Whew, gotta give it a little wash, though, because it does smell new. But, yes. Thank you, Steve. Shirt came out looking great. So, let's see here. Need a child's permission to ride that, and Speedy Gonzalez. Eric, one of the funny things is if you ever join a group called ACE, American Coaster Enthusiasts, they are pros at finding kids to borrow to ride the kiddie coasters. Or they create events where they actually will open up the kiddie coasters for the adults to ride, and it's wonderful that way. So there's a good, easy way to do that. Huntsman. I don't know if that one was Disney or not, Katie Nine Tails. I don't think I've ever actually seen that. I didn't think that was Disney, though. So, but don't quote me on that. I could very easily be wrong. I'm going to cough again at you. Okay. So I think I've got, just kind of reiterating everything here. Meet and greets. I will have another one at Silver Dollar City in June. I don't know what day yet. But if you're in the area, I will plan on one of the Fridays probably in June. I will have a meet and greet at Silver Dollar City. July 29th, July 27th, Disney Springs at Walt Disney World. And then October 5th, Anaheim Garden Walk. I'm doing the meet and greet at the Anaheim Garden Walk in October rather than at Downtown Disney because the parking is cheaper. It is a few blocks away from Disneyland, so I'll still be able to walk to it from the hotel that we're at. But trying to save people a little bit of money, I can't imagine people having to pay $25 to meet me. So this way I think it's like $7. Ooh, and I just busted my letter opener. Isn't that cool? Opening up this is a box from Drew Palmquist, and actually with the razor I can still get this open. Huntsman movie, Universal. Thank you so much, Trevor. Let's see. And yeah, and it's got the costume for kids, and don't forget my pins, and gosh, Drew has all sorts of stuff in here. So this is box. Last thing I'm opening. Do I think Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales is cool? Matt, you need to watch my video on the meet and greets from Animal Kingdom. Scrooge McDuck was the most awesome meet and greet. We gave him a little box of candy, and he had to tell us this whole story about how he got there, and Launchpad crashed the plane, and Scrooge parachuted out. And it was great. Yes, we love Scrooge. Okay, so we got open first. You have, hi, hon. You have 2 Mother's Day cards. My wife just walked out. So these, and I opened a couple of them accidentally. You don't have to do them on camera if you don't want to. So she's like, huh, okay. But I just wanted to make sure I gave them to you before I forgot.
Very sweet. Love it.
Okay, so Drew.
Ew.
So you can see she's like, camera. Ooh. Oh, do you like that? You don't have to. They've seen the cards already.
Very beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so there is that card. That's pretty. Let's see. I got this article of clothing. I don't know if you have one, but it is so... but if so, pass it on. Okay. I have no idea what it is. let's see. So we have a North Carolina winery guide. I actually have a cousin who is a winemaker out in California. So that'd be fun. I imagine she's probably been there, but she runs a Sonoma winery. Ooh, Civil War trails. Okay, now the history buff in me is going because I was actually a history major in college. So yes, that's very cool. Thank you, Drew. Okay, now this is timely because like I was talking earlier that we're leaving tomorrow on this trip, and we're on a tight budget, and so we have a stuffed peanut butter chocolate chip cookie, and a bag of Doritos, and a bag of pork skins. If you ever want good pork skins, get the fresh ones at Silver Dollar City. Oh my goodness, they're good. Another brownie, crunch bars. Gosh, she's got all sorts of stuff in here. And then the article of clothing. Okay, this is hilarious. We have Mickey boxers. No, I can't say I do have those. But that's hilarious. And then, yes, oh, and there's even a box of nerds, because I am a nerd. Thank you so much, Drew. And like I said, actually, the timing on that is great, because we will use this on the trip coming up, since we're on the budget, and there's more snipes. Yay! Perfect, Drew. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Here's a funny question. If you could be a Powerpuff Girl, who would you be? Oh, are you? Okay, come here. My daughter's over in another room. My daughter was an art major, so...
I was drawing some Powerpuff Girl fan characters.
You're drawing some Powerpuff Girl fan characters? This is my daughter's picture there.
They're supposed to be the inverted colors.
Oh, okay. So this is what she's basing it on. So there you go. Art major in her sketch pad. Let's see. They closed Willow Station Long Beach remodeling, considering extending the train to Anaheim. They need to extend the train to Anaheim Convention Center. It would work well for Disneyland that way as well. Yeah, when we go to Disneyland in October, we are actually flying into LAX because we've got 5 of us flying in, and just with the fares, it would have cost us another, oh gosh, like $600 for us all to fly into the Orange County airport that's close. So instead, we're paying $60 each way for a shuttle bus. It's just us. Yeah, it's like a 45-minute shuttle bus ride from LAX down to Disneyland if traffic is good. It would have been nice if we could, hop out and then go hop on a train and take it down or something. That would have been easier. But hey, we'll do what we can. So, Allison, did I see the new logo from Hollywood Studios? Do I think Muppets 3D will remain after Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? I did see the logo. I actually like the logo. I know some people absolutely hate the logo. For me, it was kind of a, one thing or another. It was nice. It didn't bother me at all. Muppets 3D. Here's my worry. With Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, when it opens, it is the whole section that used to be the Streets of America and the Lights Motor Action Stunt Show and the Backlot Tour. That's, although some of the Backlot Tour is actually Toy Story Land. But otherwise, that whole end of the park is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, plus a little bit more. And then you end up with this weird block where Muppets is, and then you have Star Tours on the other side of it. And it creates a weird divide, and I am kind of afraid that they're going to remove it, which for me is sad for multiple reasons. I love the Muppet Show. Aaron will tell you, because I've driven him nuts at it, because I have the whole thing memorized. And so while they're doing the show, I'm sitting there trying to quietly recite the lines, but I love it. Absolutely love it. It is also the last project that Jim Henson worked on before he died. So there's a sentimental history there as well. California has already removed theirs. In fact, they actually just opened up PhilharMagic in the old Muppet Theater, which means it's reduced because it doesn't have the wings. So I do not want to see Muppets go, but I am afraid its days are numbered. So we'll see. I got some other rumors I can throw out here too as well, since we're on rumors. Silver Dollar City, if you are not aware. Here's the rumor mill for Silver Dollar City for you. And I'm not naming any names. I've gotten this from a couple different sources. Of course, we know that Lost River is gone. They have a new Rapids ride coming in. There are there's a couple different trademark names out there, including I think Mystic Falls is one. You can see the construction now, and I need to get more pictures, that it's very obviously another rapids ride, but this has the lift and then the drop. So it's a modern rapids ride that's replacing it, which it needed. And we'll see what else comes out there. The rumor is Fire in the Holes Day may be numbered. And I don't know for sure on this. This is rumors. But there is talk that they may build a brand new Fire in the Hole over by Fireman's Landing. Maybe. And close the old one. The building for the current Fire in the Hole attraction at Silver Dollar City is old. It has not been kept up well. It's showing its age, and there's spots that the building itself isn't in great shape. And then if you've ridden it lately, you've seen that several scenes and stuff are definitely showing their age on it. So there's a rumor that its days may be numbered, and they may or may not replace it. We'll see. I'm hoping, but and yeah, Aaron's mentioning he seriously has it memorized. Yes, I really do have the whole Muppet Show memorized. So, Trevor, is it okay with me? People are okay with me as long as they don't drive me nuts. I am very happy, since Trevor's asking here, I don't believe in God, but I like your YouTube channel, but I'm an atheist. Is that okay? The thing with this YouTube channel is it is for everybody. You don't have to like God or love him or believe in him to watch my YouTube channel. Honestly, I want it to be open for everybody, and that's one of the reasons I strive really hard to not preach at people. I do probably throw things out there a little more than people realize, but I try to keep it very sedate. I have a whole separate channel that I post the sermons and the preaching and stuff on, and I keep it that way on purpose. So, no, I would. The more people that watch this channel, the happier I am, because I would love for people to watch. And I got something on my shoulder. No, it's not a dandruff flake. It's a piece of paper. But, no, please, don't feel like you're supposed to be a Christian or a believer in God or anything to watch this. It's for anybody and everybody. So, feel sorry for you. Do you always have to put up with SirWillow? Well, Rachel, he actually lives down in Florida while I live in Missouri. Aaron was actually, when I was a youth pastor down in Florida, Aaron was one of my teenagers. And the truth is, he loves me. He misses me picking on him and abusing him, which is why when we're down the area, he's always there going, come on, abuse, and why we tease each other. So, we have a good time picking on. The truth is, he loves me and can't get enough of it. So, SirWillow's goofy personality. I'm too short to be SirWillow, or too short to be goofy. So, rumor the flooded mine days are numbered as well. Yeah, that's kind of out there as a possibility, too. We'll see. And my dog's going crazy because my wife went in the garage for something. I have no idea what. Yeah, LAX train ends just at Norwalk, 12 miles short from Disneyland. That's a long walk. So, what's the funniest coaster-related thing you've heard from a non-enthusiast? Oh, I have heard some crazy stuff. Wow, where would I even begin on that? Because that's actually a really good question. I can't tell you how many times I've heard waiting in ride for a coaster, somebody talk about how many people that roller coaster has killed. And I've heard some hilarious stories that people are absolutely insistent are true of coaster trains flying off the track and landing out in the parking lot. There was one fair coaster where one car, it was a Galaxy coaster, one car landed in a parking lot, but roller coaster trains do not fly off the tracks. They don't land in parking lots. They don't kill 50 people. There has never been an accident like that anywhere. And yet I think every park has some sort of weird rumor like that. So, yeah, so I've heard some really goofy things like that. I've heard people talk about the brakes on the roller coaster train, stopping a train in the middle of the ride. Here's the amazing thing. The vast majority of roller coasters, in fact, 99% of roller coasters, don't have brakes on the trains. That's why they coast. The brakes are actually in the tracks and only in certain spots. So, no, you can't just randomly stop somewhere on the track because your roller coaster brakes kicked in. You have to stop at a brake area. So yeah, funny things like that. And I'm dropping stuff. No. Dropping all sorts of things, like my Disney Rewards Insider from my Disney card. Now, does that look as cute as the movie did? Okay, anyways. So, I've heard some really goofy things from people who think they know what they're talking about and don't. You hear it at Disney all the time. It's amazing the stuff that people believe is true at Disney and have themselves utterly convinced of. And I've had to learn over the years to keep my mouth shut and not correct them, because some of it's just really dumb. But they're not going to believe me anyways, and they don't care if what they're saying is really true. As long as they believe it's true, it may as well be true. And gee, that's amazingly true about a lot of things. That a lot of people really don't care if what they say is true, as long as they believe it's true. Like with politics and various other stuff. Whatever I believe is true, and what you believe if it's different is wrong. Anyways, that's a whole deal for my other channel, though. So, but yes, I do have a whole bunch of dumb guest videos too that Eric mentions. So if you search on my channel for dumb guests, you will hear a number of the crazy things I have heard guests talk about from working. So, know someone who got electrocuted on a roller coaster. Yeah, some of the county fairs, if they lay those power lines down, there's been a couple things like that, unfortunately. But it is still extremely, extremely rare. What is one attraction at Disney that was torn down you would love to have back? I actually did a whole video on attractions I never got to experience that closed before I got there. But as far as one I've been on that I would like, oh goodness. Well, out in California, I would say Tower of Terror. I know it's changed. I have not been on Guardians of the Galaxy yet. We'll see. But this is going to shock people. But as I'm thinking about it, it's the one that really comes to mind. There's two things I would say. One, Stitch's Great Escape. My kids loved Stitch's Great Escape. That might have been my son's favorite ride at Magic Kingdom. My daughter's over going, it was mine. So we really enjoyed that. It was just off the wall funny, just scary enough to be hilarious. And yeah, we love that. And then I would love to see Disney Quest come back. Updated, fixed up, but we loved Disney Quest. So it would have been nice to have those. So that would probably be the two that are not there anymore that I would love to have back. So why in their right mind would they call it the 3 o'clock parade? Because generally the parade starts at 3 o'clock in Orlando to avoid thunderstorms. You can actually almost time thunderstorms in Orlando the way the weather works, and they usually start right about 4 o'clock at the Disney parks. So you do the parade at 3, so that way the parade gets done before the rain starts. Well, people just know the start time, and everybody says, well, the parade starts at 3, and so they think that's the actual name of the parade. I actually had somebody who worked at another park that they had the, what was it? The gunfight at noon, and people thought that was the name. They're like, so what time's the gunfight at noon? At noon? It's the same kind of thing. They think the name of the parade is the 3 o'clock parade, and that's not the name. It's the Festival of Fantasy parade right now. But yeah, that's what they ask. What time's the 3 o'clock parade? Not realizing the answers to their question. So, but there's a lot of people who ask it. I would get asked that at least a couple times every week. At least. So, can I sing part of It's a Small World? No, I don't want to do that to poor people. Sorry. What's one ride at Silver Dollar City you would have come back? Probably one I have not been on, and that would be, and I'm going to go blank on the name, the age is kicking in. Oh gosh. Their version of a submarine, Rube Dugan's Diving Bell, there it is. I have never got to experience that at all, so I would love to do that. So Rube Dugan's Diving Bell would be it. Maybe Buzzsaw Falls. I missed that one by just a few months. But yeah, that's probably what I would go with Silver Dollar City, is Rube Dugan's. I understand why they took it out. It was a technological feat before its time, and it was still problematic sometimes, but that would have been really cool. So, I actually think I've got just about all the questions. I've got all the mail. Wow, I'm ahead of time. Don't forget my pins. I know, plug the pins again. They're really cool pins, though. $10 for the first one in the U.S., 17 Canada, 22 international. Each additional one is $7 after that. I do have a few other trading pins too, so I can always post those up. So if you want to trade other pins, we can do that as well. But you can pay for those through PayPal. If you run into me in person, I will have the pins with me, in which case then it's $7 a pin. So, have I met Adam Shilkey? No, I have not. Never met him. Let's see. Favorite ride's the train. I don't blame you, Andy the Fox Bunny. Have you been to Carowinds? No. In fact, if you actually watched my video I published just last week on parks I'd like to go to, Carowinds is in that one. So, Yellow Submarine, only at Disneyland. Do I play Fortnite? I don't have time to play games. I wish I did. I actually sampled Fortnite and realized I was just really lame, and I don't have the time to put into it, so I quit. I honestly, between pastoring the church, which y'all would be shocked how many hours that takes, if you think pastoring a church means just standing up on a Sunday morning and speaking, you have no clue, because it does include the hours of prep time it takes to speak Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. And then there's the hospital visitations, the paperwork, the finances, all the other stuff in town, any community activity I have to be at. Literally, I spend 40 to 50 hours a week pastoring my church. And then trying to do my videos on top of that. And this is probably another 20 hours of work on the videos. So let's see, I'm up to 60 hours a week and I still have to eat and sleep and see my family. Yeah, not a lot of time for gaming most of the time. So it takes a lot of time. And this, while this is nice financially, it does help. It is a part-time job. And it pays like a part-time job. It is not a full-time thing. So I would love... It would be really cool if it were to grow to the point where I could do just this. I don't know that that will ever happen or not. But yeah, there's no time for things like games. So let's see. First coaster train must go past the first block break place before the second one leaves. Yes, it's all safety stuff. There's some great websites out there about how roller coasters work, and they explain the block braking system and why to run 3 trains you've got to have at least 4 block breaks and stuff like that. So great stuff like that. Does my daughter like mermaid books? Not really. She tends to read fairly thick novels. So, Toronto's going to bake tomorrow, 27. We're supposed to be, and I'm thinking Fahrenheit here, we're supposed to be around 80 degrees this next week for the trip, so it should be really nice. So, well, I'm going to let everybody go. Thank you again. What do I think of the new area at Dollywood? I'd love to see it at some point. We'll see. But I got all the meet and greet dates out. If you want to know more information, again, check the description of the video below. Check my Facebook page, facebook.com/TheSirWillow. There's the Reddit, there's the Discord, there's Patreon. Pin orders are in the description below. There's a Discord channel, so if you want to chat, continue to chat. I'll actually probably pop over onto the Discord channel for a little bit so we can chat there as well. And I think that's everything. So hopefully see some of you this week in Kentucky and St. Louis, and then Disney World and Florida coming up after that, and all sorts of other stuff. Thanks so much for watching.